step out of line. That dog needs to be verified.
This is my service dog. I'm blind. He's a trained guide dog.
Anyone can buy a vest online. I need documentation proving this is a legitimate service
I have
animal.
his certification in my bag, but I can't seem to find it without him. He's my eyes.
Then we have a problem. Step aside. The dog stays here until we figure this out.
Wait, don't take him, please. I can't see without him.
A TSA agent thought he was following protocol. Suspicious woman with a dog. Vest looked fake. No visible disability. Probably trying to sneak a pet onto a flight. But when Agent Raymond Costa separated Jasmine Williams from her guide dog at Gate C-17 of Denver International Airport, he had no idea he was about to create an international incident. The woman standing alone in the terminal, suddenly unable to navigate the world around her, wasn't just any traveler. She was Jasmine Williams, blind since birth, three-time Paralympic gold medalist in track and field, and Team USA's flag bearer for the upcoming Games. She was flying to Paris to represent her country. And the 18 security cameras at that gate captured every second of what happened next. The agent would be fired. The TSA would face federal charges, and a jury would return a verdict of $16.5 million, the largest civil rights settlement involving a disabled athlete in American history. Before we continue, where are you watching from? If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Stories like these need to be shared, and your support helps us bring more truth to light. Denver International had cameras everywhere. The main terminal, the security checkpoints, every gate. The TSA had their own system. The airport had another. Combined, they created a web of surveillance that captured every angle of the confrontation at Gate C-17. When federal investigators later reviewed the footage, they had 11 different camera views of the moment Jasmine Williams lost her guide dog and her ability to see the world. So who was this woman the agent decided to separate from her eyes? Jasmine Williams was born blind. Complete congenital blindness. Her optic nerves never developed. She'd never seen a sunrise, never seen her mother's face, never seen the gold medals she'd won. But she'd felt them. Every single one. She grew up in Oakland, California. Her mother was a school nurse. Her father had left before she was born. They lived in a small apartment where Jasmine memorized every corner, every doorway, every step between rooms. Her mother worked double shifts to afford specialized equipment, braille books, mobility training. When Jasmine was 7, her gym teacher noticed something. The blind girl ran faster than anyone in her class. She ran straight, perfectly balanced, as if she could see exactly where she was going. He called it instinct. Jasmine called it trust. She trusted her body, knew what to do even when her eyes couldn't tell it. By 12, she was training with a Paralympic coach. By 16, she was breaking junior records. By 20, she stood on the podium in Tokyo, a gold medal around her neck, listening to the national anthem she couldn't see the flag for. She'd won 3 Paralympic golds. She held the world record in the 100 meters and 200 meters for visually impaired athletes. She'd been on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She'd given a TED Talk about competing without sight that had been viewed 40 million times. She'd met 2 presidents and carried the American flag at the last Paralympics opening ceremony. And she'd done all of it with Apollo at her side. Apollo was a 4-year-old black Labrador retriever. He'd been her guide dog for 3 years, trained by guide dogs for the blind in San Rafael, California. He was her independence, her mobility, her eyes. Without him, Jasmine could navigate familiar spaces she'd memorized, but anywhere new was terrifying. She couldn't read signs, couldn't see obstacles, couldn't find gates, bathrooms, water fountains, couldn't do anything except stand still and wait for help. Apollo wore his official vest, blue with reflective patches. Guide dog in large white letters. The certification card was in a clear pouch attached to his harness. His registration number was embroidered on the vest itself. Couldn't be more obvious what he was. None of that mattered to Agent Raymond Costa. Costa had been with TSA for 8 years. His personnel file told a familiar story: 9 complaints for harassment of disabled passengers, all 9 dismissed. 4 previous incidents involving service animals where he'd demanded proof beyond what the law required. 2 letters of reprimand that somehow never affected his standing. His colleagues had a nickname for him, the Faker Finder. He was convinced Half the service animals at DIA were pets in vests, and he'd made it his personal mission to catch them. That morning, Costa was working gate C-17. He noticed Jasmine in line, a black woman in athletic wear with dark sunglasses and a dog. The dog looked calm. Too calm, Costa thought. Real service dogs were more alert. He didn't know Jasmine was blind. Her eyes didn't look different behind the glasses. She stood confidently, the result of decades of mobility training. She didn't fit his mental image of a blind person, so he decided to investigate. "Ma'am, step out of line. That dog needs to be verified." Jasmine's head turned toward the voice. Not her eyes. They couldn't find his face. Her ears located him to her left. "This is my service dog. I'm blind. He's a trained guide dog. Anyone can buy a vest online. I need documentation proving this is a legitimate service animal." Under the ADA, businesses and government agencies can only ask two questions about service animals. Is this a service animal required because of a disability? What task is the dog trained to perform? They cannot demand documentation, certification, or proof. Costa was already violating federal law. Jasmine reached for her bag, but she needed Apollo to stay still while she searched. Her hands found the zipper, then fumbled inside for the folder she kept with her travel documents. "I have his certification in my bag, but I can't see to find it without him. He's my eyes." "Then we have a problem." Costa reached down and took Apollo's leash from Jasmine's hand. The cameras captured her face. The moment she lost contact with her dog. The moment her world went dark in a way sighted people can never understand. "Wait, don't take him. Please, I can't see without him. I can't see anything." "He'll be right over here. You can have him back once we verify he's legitimate." Costa walked Apollo 15 feet away to a security podium. 15 feet might as well have been 15 miles. Jasmine stood frozen. Her hands reached out in front of her, then dropped. She turned in a slow circle, trying to orient herself by sound alone, but gate C-17 was crowded and noisy. Voices everywhere, footsteps everywhere, rolling luggage everywhere. She had no idea which direction was which. "Hello? Is anyone there? I need help. I can't see where I am." The cameras showed what happened next. Jasmine took a tentative step forward, arms outstretched like a horror movie. She bumped into a trash can, stumbled, caught herself on a seat. Her sunglasses slipped off. Her blind eyes stared at nothing. A woman nearby gasped and ran to help. "Oh my God, are you okay? What happened?" "He took my dog. The agent took my dog. I can't see. I don't know where anything is." The woman looked toward Costa, who was examining Apollo's vest like it was evidence in a crime. "Sir, that woman needs her dog back. She's blind." Costa didn't look up. "I'm verifying the animal. She can wait." "She can't wait. She can't see." Other passengers were gathering now. The cameras showed a circle forming around Jasmine, strangers trying to help a blind woman who'd been separated from her guide dog in a crowded airport. One man was on his phone. "Yeah, I'm at gate C-17. TSA agent just took a blind woman's guide dog. She's standing here lost. No, I'm not exaggerating. She literally can't move. She's blind." Jasmine was crying now. Not dramatically. She'd learned long ago that blind people crying made sighted people uncomfortable. But tears rolled silently down her cheeks as she stood in a world she suddenly couldn't navigate. "Apollo! Apollo, where are you?" The dog heard her voice. He pulled against Costa's grip, trying to return to his owner. Costa held him back. "Settle down. You'll get back to her." Should TSA agents be allowed to separate disabled passengers from their service animals without supervisor approval? Drop your thoughts below. A supervisor arrived 4 minutes later. Senior Agent Patricia Mendez had been called by another TSA employee who'd witnessed the scene and knew it was going wrong. "Ray, what's happening here?" "Verifying a service animal. The vest looks off." Mendez looked at Apollo, looked at the vest, looked at the certification card in the clear pouch, looked at the registration number embroidered on the side, then looked at Jasmine, standing 20 feet away, surrounded by strangers, blind and lost. "Ray, that woman is clearly blind. The dog is clearly a guide dog. What are you doing?" Anyone can fake blindness. She was walking fine in line. She was walking fine because she had her dog. "Give him back. Now." Costa hesitated. "I haven't finished verifying." Raymond, "Give the dog back. Now." Costa walked Apollo back to Jasmine. The cameras captured the moment she felt the leash return to her hand. She dropped to her knees and wrapped her arms around Apollo, burying her face in his fur. "I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. I'm here. I've got you." Apollo licked her face. His tail wagged. Her world came back into focus, not visually, but the only way it could, through him. Mendez approached Jasmine. "Ma'am, I am so sorry. That should never have happened. Are you okay?" Jasmine stood slowly, one hand on Apollo's harness. Her voice was steady despite the tears still wet on her face. "No, I'm not okay. I'm a Paralympic athlete. I'm flying to Paris to represent the United States. I've won 3 gold medals for this country. And your agent just took my eyes away from me in a crowded airport because he didn't believe I was really blind." Mendez's face went pale. Wait, are you Jasmine Williams?" "Yes. Oh my God. I watched you win in Tokyo. My daughter has your poster on her wall." "That's great. Can I board my flight now, or does someone else need to verify that I'm actually blind first?" The footage showed Costa standing 5 feet away, finally realizing the magnitude of his mistake. A 3-time Paralympic gold medalist, Team USA's flag bearer, someone whose face had been on magazine covers, TV broadcasts, and inspirational posters in schools across America. He'd separated her from her guide dog because he didn't believe she was disabled. Jasmine boarded her flight, but her hands shook the entire way to Paris. She held Apollo's harness so tight her knuckles went white. Every time a stranger approached, she flinched. She won 2 more gold medals at those games, but in every interview afterward, she talked about what happened at Denver International. "I've been blind my whole life. I've learned to navigate a world that wasn't built for me. But I've never felt more helpless than I did standing in that airport without Apollo. 4 minutes. He took my independence for 4 minutes, and it was the longest 4 minutes of my life." 3 weeks after returning from Paris, Jasmine filed her lawsuit. Discovery was devastating. Costa's history of harassing disabled passengers, 9 previous complaints all dismissed, statistics showing he investigated service animals at 12 times the rate of other agents, internal emails joking about fake service dogs and disability frauds. And one more thing, a text Costa sent to a colleague the night after the incident. "Had a fun one today. Took a blind woman's dog. She freaked out completely, almost felt bad. Then she turned out to be some athlete. Oops. Oops." The trial lasted 3 weeks. The jury watched the airport footage, 11 angles. They saw Jasmine standing confidently in line with Apollo, saw Costa approach, saw him take the leash, saw Jasmine's face transform from confidence to terror, saw her stumbling, reaching, lost. They saw 4 minutes of a blind woman, alone in a world she couldn't navigate. They read Costa's text messages. "Had a fun one today." They heard testimony from disability rights experts who explained what it means for a blind person to lose their guide dog. It's not like taking someone's pet. It's like blindfolding a sighted person and spinning them around in a crowd. Complete disorientation, complete helplessness, complete terror. They heard from Jasmine's coach, who described how the incident affected her training. She'd never been afraid to travel before. After Denver, she didn't want to go anywhere. She kept Apollo on a short leash, literally. It took months before she could navigate an airport without panic attacks. They heard from Jasmine herself. She testified in her dark glasses, Apollo at her feet, her hands folded in her lap. "I've been blind since birth. I've never known any different. I've built my whole life around adaptation, around finding ways to do what sighted people do. I've won gold medals. I've carried my country's flag. I've proven that blindness doesn't have to limit what you can achieve." She paused. But in 4 minutes, Agent Costa took all of that away. He reduced me to the thing I've fought my whole life not to be, helpless. He didn't see an athlete. He didn't see an Olympian. He didn't see a woman who'd trained for decades to compete at the highest level. He saw a black woman with a dog and decided I must be faking. Her voice hardened. I wasn't faking. I've never seen anything in my entire life. And for 4 minutes I stood in that airport and I couldn't find my way to a chair. I couldn't find my way to a wall. I couldn't find my way anywhere because he took my dog. He took my eyes, and he did it because he didn't believe me. The defense tried to argue Costa was following protocol. Jasmine's attorney destroyed that argument. What protocol? The ADA explicitly prohibits demanding documentation for service animals. The TSA's own training materials say agents cannot separate disabled passengers from their service animals without supervisor approval, which Agent Costa never obtained. There is no protocol that allows what he did. There's just bias. The assumption that a black woman couldn't possibly be telling the truth about her disability. The jury deliberated for 5 hours. Unanimous verdict, $16.5 million, $7 million for violation of ADA rights, $5 million for emotional distress and trauma, $3 million for interference with her Paralympic preparation, $1.5 million in punitive damages. The forewoman, a mother of a child with autism who used a service dog, read the verdict. Then she looked at Jasmine. Ms. Williams, what that man did to you was cruel. Not just illegal, cruel. He took your independence because he couldn't imagine you were telling the truth. This verdict is for every disabled person who's been doubted, questioned, and humiliated for needing accommodations. You deserved better. We hope this helps. Agent Raymond Costa was terminated within 24 hours. He faces federal charges for ADA violations. Trial set for November. TSA implemented immediate policy changes requiring supervisor approval before any interaction with service animals and mandatory disability awareness training. Jasmine stood on the courthouse steps after the verdict, Apollo at her side, her gold medals around her neck. I've won 3 Paralympic golds. After this verdict, people ask if this is my biggest win. It's not. My biggest win was the first time I crossed a finish line I couldn't see, because I trusted myself enough to run anyway. She reached down and touched Apollo's head. But this matters. Not for me. I have resources, attention, a platform. This matters for every disabled person who gets questioned at every airport, every store, every restaurant. Every person who has to prove their disability is real to strangers who've decided they're probably faking. She looked toward the cameras, or toward where she knew the cameras were by the sound of clicking shutters. I can't see your faces right now, but you can see mine. I'm blind. I've always been blind. I'll always be blind, and I'm still a gold medalist. I'm still a champion. I'm still worthy of basic dignity in an airport. Apollo isn't a pet. He's my independence. He's my mobility, he's my eyes, and nobody has the right to take that from me. The Jasmine Williams Foundation for Service Animal Rights was established with a portion of the settlement. It provides legal defense for disabled individuals whose service animals are wrongly challenged. Their motto is what Agent Costa said when he took Apollo's leash: anyone can fake a disability. And right below it, try faking 3 gold medals. Jasmine is training now for the next Paralympics. She's favored to win 2 more golds. Apollo runs beside her during every practice, never more than arm's length away. Costa is sitting at home right now, waiting for trial. His TSA colleagues won't talk to him. His application to other federal agencies was rejected. Nobody wants to hire the guy who took a gold medalist's guide dog on camera. Was it worth it? Was anyone can fake blindness worth $16.5 million? Was 4 minutes of power worth federal charges? Was doubting a champion worth losing everything? The jury already answered that question. And somewhere in Colorado, Jasmine Williams is running. She can't see the finish line. She's never seen a finish line, but she knows exactly where it is. She trusts herself. She trusts Apollo. She trusts that blindness has never stopped her and never will. No agent can take that away from her. No doubt can slow her down. No 4 minutes of helplessness can erase a lifetime of gold medals. She runs blind. She runs fast. She runs straight toward the thing she can't see but knows is there. That's what champions do. If you believe that disabled athletes deserve dignity, that service animals should never be separated from their owners, that blindness doesn't mean you're faking, subscribe. Share this. Send it to everyone. Because if a 3-time Paralympic gold medalist can have her guide dog taken because someone didn't believe she was really blind, nobody's disability is protected. Nobody's accommodation is safe. Nobody's service animal is secure, except the champions who fight back. Jasmine Williams said, "I can't see without him," at 2:34 p.m. Agent Costa said, "She can wait." A jury decided 4 minutes was worth $16.5 million, and Raymond Costa is going to spend the rest of his life knowing he made a blind woman stand helpless in an airport. Because he couldn't imagine she was exactly who she said she was, a champion, a gold medalist, an American hero who happens to be blind and runs faster than he ever could.